A couple of weeks ago, I worked with you guys live on stream to figure out what the best value for money loadout is right now in Counter-Strike 2, and it turned out so good, I want to showcase it here today. So, knife and glove combo that we went with straight away. Went for the sports gloves Omegas in field test, which are about $420. And then we finally broken my flip knife agenda. We picked the flip knife lower in minimal wear for $375. So, just under $800 for the combo overall for, like, let's say S tier gloves for the Omegas. I think lower is one of the best finishes in the game. This is an incredibly nice combo. It's actually one that, since doing this, I'm considering getting myself. Now, when we did this loadout, we didn't go through and pick any agents, so what I want you guys to do is let me know which CT and T agents you would pick for this loadout in the comments down below. Over on the USP, we went for the minimum wear jawbreaker, which is about $10. I think this one is a bit of a no-brainer pick. Over on the Glock, we went for the non-souvenir version of the Ramesses Reach, which at the time of planning this was about $10.50 for minimal wear. Now, overall, the community did agree that the print stream is probably still the best value for money deagle in the game, but in field test, which is about $30. And for context, these prices are from the 21st of September. Now, the AK of choice was a fantastic one by you guys. We went for the Empress in minimal wear, which is about $60. I know you can go for this in lower quality as well. I know you can go for this in like field test it, well worn, and it'll still look good, but we kind of agreed, let's go for that min wear and keep it consistent. We did end up with two Emperor LNS picks. The first one that we went as the #1 slot was the Black Lotus, because in minimal wear for $14.50, it's just an incredible pick. Obviously, you can go Battle Scarred if you want that pink hue, and you'll probably save some money along the way. The alternative pick here, which I think we do really need to sort of include, is the Nightmare. This is $18 for minimal wear. It's a bit more expensive than the Black Lotus, but I still look at this and say, like, B-Tech, budget, Icarus fell. Now, it was nice to see with picks like a factory new Dragon King that overall, myself and the community, we didn't just go for the cheapest possible. We still wanted to get high quality artwork in here, and $25 for a factory new Dragon King. I'm glad you guys picked it. For the op, we ended up actually going to a spinning wheel of like 6 options. We got the Wildfire, then we got the Containment Breach, so we ran it again. You know, the stream was calling for it rigged, so we ended up with the Battle Scarred Wildfire for $33. Now, I've gone for an incredibly high float here at 0.6, but obviously you can grab it lower. I think it's a bit more interesting than maybe some of the cheaper options, but obviously that was a community pick and ultimately a spinning wheel decider as well. I think we were able to agree pretty well that the Hydra was the best pick for the MP9. There were shouts from Mount Fuji, but overall we ran a poll. The Hydra came out on top for minimal wear is $9. Now, I may have forced the Mac 10 pick to be the allure, because for me, still $50 for this in minimal wear is just a beautiful piece of artwork, and it looks incredible in game, and for the price, it is just a no-brainer. The P250 is the only other skin that had 2 options. The first of which was the Visions, which is about $4.60 in minimal wear. And whilst I'm here, I just want to remind you guys, we do actually have a new giveaway running this week, and it's for the Desert Eagle Midnight Storm. It is 0.06 float factory new. All you have to do is make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and as I said at the start, make sure you leave a comment down below of the 2 agents for T and CT that we should have had here. Good luck. Make sure you're in the Discord so you don't miss if you win, and let's look at the second P250, which ended up being the Mint Kimono. I think the overall conversation here was we wanted something that you don't see that often in game, and with this being pattern based, it still looks clean and minimal wear. It's a pretty solid option for also around that $4 to $5 mark. And now that's a lot of the main skins out of the way. We start to hit these filler skins like the Jill Beretta's Royal Consort. These minimal wear 70 cent are a pretty easy choice. Any jewelries under $1 really you can run with. We did end up going for a 5.7 Urban Hazard. Now, this was picked for factory new for $1.40. Myself, I was thinking Boost Protocol, but the community won the vote. There's a lot of love for the Urban Hazard in chat, so that's what we had to go for. Over on the Gale, it was between the Chromatic Aberration and what you see now, which ultimately won, which is the Eco, and it's just under $5 for field test it, and you can see even the field test it here, 0.25, it holds up pretty well. Now, the other one that I may have forced my hand in a little bit was the Famous, because I know a Mecha Industries exists, I know the Spectre, and I know the Valence exists. I went for the Nightboar in factory new for $16, which isn't as flashy and it's much more expensive, but you don't see this often in game. And for that, I was like, you know what? We can spend a little bit on the Famous. If you're a Famous player, yes, get something nice. If not, go to one of those 2 quid skins. Then the Mag 7, which I have finally started using again, I went for the Foresight, or I say we went for the Foresight. It was 13 cent, it's factory new. I love that it's like this octopus picking that you're going to win. Just a really nice bit of artwork for not very much money at all. Thankfully, the XOXO won out on the XM conversation. Now, it's $3 minimum wear, and the reason it won is because it's so heavily pattern-based that you can pick a color that's likely going to match in with your loadout to a certain extent, which is really nice. And this is where we started including CZ in it again, because there was a request to actually make sure we put one in. We went for the Tigris, which is 85 cent in minimal wear. Over on the Tech 9, I think there was a few shouts for the Tech 9, which is fair, because there's a lot of good budget Tech 9 skins. Overall, we ended up going for the Avalanche. I think the chat vote just won out there. It's just under $3 for minimal wear, and I think this and the Mummy's Rot are probably two of my favourites, along with the Fuel Injector. Now, I would have forced this one in either way, but thankfully it got a lot of love from chat, so I was able to do it without it being rigged. $1.25 for a Just Smile MP7 is one of my favourites, and I'm loving how it looks with these Omega gloves. I think I might have made the right decision. Now, UMP, we decided we'd go field test it, we won't break the bank, and it was between a Wild Child and the Primal Saber. There was a little bit of love early on for the Wild Child, but ultimately the 195 for the field test at Primal Saber just ultimately won out in chat votes. Over on the AUG side of things, the community was very wise and picked a minimal wear Stimphilian. The fact that you can get a skin that looks that good for under $3, I'm just a big fan of. We ended up going for the SG Aloha for this pick here at 16 cent. Fat Junior, really hard to argue against. We went through the fact it's pattern based on stream, it has some really nice options. Like to Dragon King and Darkwing, we're getting some love, but I think for the price, this just won out ultimately. Now, to my disapproval, the Turbo Peak won the Scout voting. I think $10.50 for it in minimal wear is a little bit much, considering how many good cheap scouts there are, but that's what the community went with, and, you know, it still fits in, it doesn't break the bank, so there you go. And then my argument of a Bamboo Forest or a Oxide Oasis did not win. We ended up going for the Agent. I think it's fair, under $1 for the skin and minimal wear. It does look pretty damn clean, so you guys didn't do too bad there. And then we rounded it off with the PP Bison, which was the Judgment of Anubis in minimal wear, which is almost $5. Value for money, I'd say. We probably should have gone for a cheaper PP Bison, but this did win the vote. And overall, what that means is this total loadout cost is just over $1,000. It actually comes under $1,050. So let's just call it a $1,000 loadout. Nice and easy. Now, I know already a lot of people might say, oh, it's not overly budget, but I think what we were going for was the best value for money while still being able to get some like high tier quality skins. And overall, I think we've done that. And in the process, we've managed to break my agenda against the flip knife because the lower blade just looks too good. And I'm going to end my lovely waffling there. I do want to remind you guys, we have the giveaway for the Midnight Storm Deagles, so make sure you enter that. A big thank you to all the YouTube members that continue to support me and the channel and what I'm doing. That is greatly appreciated. And if you want to find out about being a YouTube member, just check that join button down below. It will give you all the information you need. And outside of that, I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for everyone that helped build this loadout on stream. It was a really cool evening to sit and do that. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.